The wilderness within you. The 16th day of Lent, the Thursday of week 3. We've 2 readings from the Bible, and the first is Matthew chapter 7 verses 1 to 5, and I'm reading from the Good News translation. Do not judge others, so that God will not judge you. For God will judge you in the same way you judge others, and he will apply to you the same rules you apply to others. Why then do you look at the speck in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the log in your own eye? How dare you say to your brother, "Please let me take that speck out of your eye," when you have a log in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will be able to see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. And from the letter of James, the 3rd chapter, verses 13 to 18, reading again from the Good News translation. Are there any of you who are wise and understanding? You are to prove it by your good life, by your good deeds performed with humility and wisdom. But if in your heart you are jealous, bitter, and selfish, don't sin against the truth by boasting of your wisdom. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven. It belongs to the world. It is unspiritual and demonic. Where there is jealousy and selfishness, there is also disorder and every kind of evil. But the wisdom from above is pure, first of all. It is also peaceful, gentle, and friendly. It is full of compassion and produces a harvest of good deeds. It is free from prejudice and hypocrisy. And goodness is the harvest that is produced from the seeds that peacemakers plant in peace. I went to Quaker meeting and enjoyed the silence for a while, until somebody said something that really annoyed me. It says in the Bible, "As you think, so shall you become." I can't remember the rest of what they said, because that irritated me so much I stopped listening. Walking home through the park, I see Jesus. The sight of him, strolling peacefully, looking at the birds as he goes, and the new shoots of plants showing through last year's leaf mould, restores my happiness. When I catch up with him, I tell him about the Quaker ministry that got on my nerves. They said that it says in the Bible, "As you think, so shall you become." Can you believe it? Oh, certainly. He nods in affirmation. It's absolutely true. I gaze at him, incredulous. This is Jesus, right? It may be true, I say, but it isn't in the Bible. Bruce Lee said it. Well, that's okay, isn't it? He looks at me, questioning. Bruce Lee wasn't born when they decided what would go in the Bible. No, it's not okay. It's incorrect. It's really important to stick to the facts with the Bible. Otherwise, you end up with people saying, as the prophet said, I have a dream. Or, in the words of the psalmist, go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. Again, Jesus only nods. I look at him sharply. He does know. The first one is Martin Luther King Jr. and the second one's Max Ehrmann, I say, hoping this may be unnecessary. Everyone needs a dream, he says, and there is great peace in the silence. This conversation is not going the way I'd imagined. Doesn't it matter? I challenge him, exasperated. You think it's okay to misquote the scriptures and lead people down false trails about what is and isn't in the Bible? Life rooted in the scriptures is strong and secure, he says. But the important thing really is to live it. I mean, that's what it's for. The scriptures weren't written to make people right. They're seeds of grace to make life beautiful. We walk on a bit further, and Jesus talks quietly and sadly, I think, about the acrimony of church splits and depth of its divisions, about the vitriol with which the faithful denounce sins they use the Bible to identify and condemn in the life of others. He speaks about the need people feel to define themselves by fighting an opposition, strengthening their identity by conflict with a supposed enemy, identifying with their own stance and position, losing sight of everything except their grim hold on the insistence that they are right. It doesn't matter, he says. It doesn't matter if they're right. What the Father cares about is if they are kind, if they are loving, if they're willing to overlook mistakes and give the benefit of the doubt. It's a way of living. So you're saying, my voice sounds confrontational, someone seems to have turned up the volume, that just anything will do, that what's in the Bible simply doesn't matter? Just with his fingertip, Jesus touches the back of my hand. I'm saying it matters immensely, he replies, and that what is written is, judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Love covers a multitude of sins. All of us often make mistakes. We're not fighting against human beings, but against the wicked spiritual forces in the heavenly world. Love does not keep a record of wrongs. The wisdom of the scriptures is beautiful with the flexible strength of kindness. Insistence on being right and the arguments that go with it make communities brittle. I digest these words in silence as the path takes us up the hill. I'm not quite ready to let this go. Jesus, I say, it really matters to me to know the scriptures, to search them and learn them and understand their meaning. I cannot believe we can just shrug that off. Are you listening to me? He doesn't sound cross. His voice is peaceable, gentle. It's about living, not winning. And I see that if I stick to applying what I read in my own life, without getting antsy about what other people are doing, the problem pretty much just goes away.